Having a hosted project in GCP, AWS, or Android, or even iOS is way more important than a computer science degree to land you your first software engineering job. Hi, my name is Edson. I recently graduated with a master's degree in computer science. In this video, I wanted to share my perspective on how I got my first job and the level of preparation that I had to do as an undergraduate student to land my first job. If this is something you'll be interested, stay tuned and let's roll into it. This video is mostly targeted for sophomore or junior students who have not yet done any internship and who might think their computer science degree alone would be enough for getting them their first job. Sometime as a student, you might spend a lot of time studying for your exam and might not have enough time to put effort into creating your own project or even applying for an internship. I'm making this video to give you some advice that worked for me when it was time for me to get my first entry-level software engineering job. And in this video, I will go over the resume that got me my first software engineering job and give some perspective on why I think having done some internship or having hosted a project helped me get my foot in the door as a software engineer. Let's take a look at the resume that I had for my first ever software engineering job and analyze it. Here is my resume. As you can see, I started to work for free for a student organization to help them with their online presence. This is not something that is covered in any computer science course, and I had to learn it on my own. We had analyzed different technology at that time, which was a combination between Joomla, WordPress, and Drupal, and I ended up using WordPress because it was easier. So here is the complete implementation of my first POC when I had to learn how to write HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So this is me doing it manually. Then, after taking and evaluating many other technology, I ended up using WordPress for the website because it was really easy. I also helped them maintain their email system so that students who are interested can send email and help them creating listserv so that they can publish newsletter. None of those things are things that are being taught in any courses. These are things that I had to kind of learn on my own and then use it to solve a real-world problem. My first internship was with a small local shop called Digital Broadcast. And I think when I was doing the interview with them, they saw that I had very good potential because I was able to solve real-world problem. And it was not an internship that paid a lot. I barely got paid like $10 an hour, but it was a great experience for me. And once I was able to get that first internship on my resume, it was really easy for me to get interviewed for other internship and eventually took a summer internship at JP Morgan. The moral of the story is simple. Internship is important, and getting that first internship really set the tone for you to get your first real software engineering job. The reason behind it is because the thing that is taught in school is not the same thing that is being used in the real world. A real job will want you to solve real problem. And the only way you can solve real problem is by solving real problem. And all of the things they teach you in school, they just help you, but that's not the way things work in the industry. So that's why they give a lot of weight on students who had done internship. If you don't have an internship, the best thing you could do is create a working project and host it in a public network that people can go and use it. It's even way better if you can have that project be available, or at least that project solve a specific problem. For me, the problem that I solve is we have a student organization and they needed online presence and they needed to be able to gather students and send email and do a lot of technical things, and using my previous knowledge, being able to deploy this in the real world and let it being used by real people, it's the skill that most employer is willing to pay you. Also, one thing to understand is your starting salary is probably going to be the salary for the ending salary of some other people. So as such, the level of effort that you need to put to get that starting salary may be a little bit more than just getting a computer science degree. I'm not saying that a computer science degree is not, it's a bad idea. All I'm saying is it's just not enough. You need that extra flavor. There are other paths that other student has done that work in their advantage, but that they didn't do. For example, some students spent a lot of time doing lead code and they were part of the programming team. And from the programming team, they were able to make it easy for them to solve interviews that were more along the line of asking lead code style of question. I tried that route, but I was not in an environment that was welcoming to me. And even trying to join the programming team, it was an intimidating experience because I went to a school where most of the students were not people who look like me. The route of solving a real problem and put it in the hand of people to use has really a lot of value. I hope this helped. It's not too late. If you have graduated, you can try to find local business in your area that may need technology support and build something for them. And then you can use that as your experience to try to land you the first job. Because at the end of the day, you're going to get hired to do a real job. And sometimes there are other paths like the lead code path. I just didn't take that path. It's just an alternative for other people. I hope this was valuable and you learned something out of it. If that's the case, tell me about your experience of how you got your first software engineering job, and kind of tell me if you think what I said is correct in terms of you can either do lead code and then do that route, or you can do the route of getting an internship and then get experience and then use that experience to lead to your first software engineering job. That's it. Like and subscribe. See you next time.